Couches aren't just for sitting anymore. They're also for killing, and not with comfort. I'm actually pretty proud of that tease just now, if I do say so myself. I'm reviewing Killer Sofa, giving you my pros, cons, trigger warnings, and my twisted final grade. Hey y'all, it's Chauncey K. Robinson here, aka Twisted Girl Next Door, and I am reviewing Killer Sofa, which is currently, at the time of this recording, streaming on Amazon Prime. And yes, I did say Killer Sofa. You know you're intrigued. A killer reclining chair becomes enchanted by a girl and starts committing crimes of passion. Killer Sofa is a B movie that actually has, with the gimmick, heart, a decent plot, good acting, and some actual scares. Creep factor. I did not think it was possible to actually be uneasy around furniture, and this movie achieved that. And because this is the thing, let's be real, there are other movies that do the gimmicky, one of my faves, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, like those two movies are awesome. And then there's like Killer Donuts, there's a thing about a killer tire, there's so many things, there's a killer bong, all types of stuff like that. And usually it's played hardcore for the laughs. And you aren't really scared of the actual thing that's doing the killing. A lot of times, the thing that's doing the killing, it's so silly looking to be afraid of it that you can't really muster much fear, right? That's not the case with this movie. They actually did a very good job I don't know whether it was the direction, with the way they did the camera angles when you're looking at it, but it was actually done really well, where there were times where I was actually very creeped out by this reclining chair. Full disclosure, it's not really a couch or a sofa. It's not. It's a reclining chair, which made me actually remember, if you remember of your childhood, Pee-wee's Playhouse that had the talking chair, right? Yeah, kind of ruined my childhood right there, but in an awesome way, because I don't know if it was because the way the buttons were on the thing, but I was creeped out at times. And the way they moved it around, the things they made it do, yes, it was silly at times. Like this sofa gets around in this movie, but it actually really worked, where I was actually quite afraid. And some of the powers they made the reclining chair have really worked to up the stakes of the kills that happen. And so even the kills aren't really played necessarily for laughs. So there's a very honest, creep factor in this movie that I really appreciated and did not think I would find in a movie about a killer sofa. Effects. I don't think this movie was made with a lot of money, probably, and that's actually okay. I'm someone who actually really, and you probably, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I like practical effects when it comes to particularly horror films, but most films actually. I think practical effects go a lot longer in terms of believability than CGI. And what they were able to do with the sofa, with the reclining chair, was very clever. The things they had to do, which it was somewhat believable if a killer sofa was to come to life. Plot line. Yeah, there's actually a plot. I know, it's crazy, right? The plot actually, because let's be real, we watch movies like this. When you sign up for a movie to watch something like this, you don't really think it's going to have that much depth to it. And I'm not saying this movie has a lot of depth, but they actually seemed like they stopped and thought about, how can we make it so this isn't just some random reclining chair that just happens to start killing people or whatever. And they actually tied it to different things, folklore, all types of stuff, where it made it very intriguing and engaging, and you wanted to figure out the mystery. There was definitely a mystery in this movie. Not enough follow through. I know, yeah, killer sofa movie with not enough follow through. How dare it? But this actually connects to what I was saying about the plot, and I think this movie has, like I said, a very engrossing kind of mystery about it, where you're kind of trying to figure out how do all these dots connect, and it does a decent enough job to try to kind of wrap it up, but they did leave open a few things that they spent some time focusing on throughout the movie. So when there's not follow through with it, you're left wondering in some angles, like, well, what happened to those characters, and what's going to happen with this situation, and how did that happen? So it leaves you a little dissatisfied when it comes to some of the plots, maybe the B plots that were going on that don't have the best payoff. Confusing ending. And I think this just plays into the fact that the plot had a lot of angles and a lot of lines. And because they didn't actually follow through with some of those things that they set up, it left certain things unsolved. And so because of that, you're kind of left with the ending where it's like, okay, here's the twist that we kind of saw a mile away coming, but it's also like, well, how does that work? Like, either they didn't explain it enough when they introduced it, so when the thing actually happens, it's kind of like, well, can that happen? Did you just break your own universe rules? Abuse and stalking. My twisted final grade for Killer Sofa is an A. Yes, I did just give this movie an A because I think, given what it was trying to achieve, it actually achieved it. It is marketed as a horror comedy. I actually think it leans more on the horror than the comedy, although, I mean, just the fact that it's a killer sofa, I think that's the comedic, ironic element within it, but it actually plays it pretty straight for a movie, and it takes itself seriously. Not too seriously, but seriously enough where, like I said, the creep factor is actually there. It's a little slow in some parts, but overall, I think it achieved probably better than a lot of gimmick type movies that I've seen what it was aiming to do, and actually having a really convincing horror element. So that definitely gives it an A in my book. Okay, twisted people, so that is my pros, cons, trigger warnings of Killer Sofa. I really dug it. I thought it was cool. It's probably one of the better movies that have a gimmick of some inanimate object being a killer that I've seen in a minute. And believe you me, I have gone down that rabbit hole of those kind of movies. And I definitely enjoyed this movie. Check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. Let me know what you think. What is some of your fave kind of movies like this when it comes to this very special subgenre of horror? Let me know. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I know some of y'all like that, the Frosty the Snowman killer movie. There's a Gingerbread Man killer movie. There's Killer Bong. All types of movies like that. I'm definitely thinking Killer Sofa actually surpasses them. Let me know. Comment down below with your thoughts. And also, be sure to subscribe so that you are the first to know when I post my videos of all things horror, dark fantasy, and everything in between that I want to talk about. Thanks for watching. Let's get creepy together.